Hi, everybody. I have a great story for you, but I got to show you this tree behind me. This is a great tree. We're out here in the fields, and this tree is called a carob tree. And we're going to tell you why that's so special in a minute. I'm going to explain to you why we have to know that this is a carob tree. Okay, the story I'm going to tell you happened a long time ago, like thousands of years ago. Okay, with somebody who we really learn a lot about if we study Torah. His name is Choni Hamagil. And Choni Hamagil would bench every Shabbat. He would say Birkat Hamazon, like you say Birkat Hamazon every Shabbat. And he would say right before he started benching and he would say this at the end of every meal, just like you do. He would sing Shir Hamalos. Do you sing Shir Hamalos? Shir Hamalos, right? You say that, right? Right? And he says Shir Hamalos V'Shuv Hashem, right? So it says that we're going to be like dreamers. So what he says, I don't understand. What do you mean we're going to be like dreamers? Everybody dreams. So he says, wait a minute, it says that we're going to be like dreamers. We're going to come back to Eretz Yisrael. And Choni Hamagil knew that at his time, when all the Jews did something really bad, they stopped following the Torah, and Hashem threw them out of Eretz Yisrael and made them go to a faraway place called Bavel. He knew that they would be there for 70 years. And the pasuk says that they're going to be like dreamers. He says, wait a minute, you could dream for 70 years? He says, usually at a certain point, you're going to give up your dreams. So Hashem said, I'm going to explain it to Choni Hamagil. So Choni Hamagil was walking in a field. It might have been this one. I don't know. It was a field of carob trees. And Choni Hamagil sees somebody planting a tree just like this one. And Choni Hamagil says to the man planting the tree, he says, how long does it take for that tree to grow? How long? You're going to plant this tree now, and you're going to get fruits from the tree. How long are you going to have to wait until the tree grows? 1 month, 2 months. When we want something to eat, we go to the store, right? But if you live on a farm like this one and you plant a carob tree like the one behind me, so how long does it take, right? When can you expect to eat? I want a snack now. I'm hungry. So I said, I'm hungry now. I'm going to go plant the tree. Does it work that way? Can I just plant a tree and then get no? So the person planting the tree looks at Choni like he was really strange, and he says, no, this tree's not going to be ready for me. He says, what do you mean? So he says, this tree takes 70 years till it starts growing fruit. 70 years. So Choni Hamagil looks at the man and he says, you think I'm strange. He says, if you're hungry, why are you planting this tree now? It's not going to grow for 70 years. He says to the man, he says, the man was already a little old. So he says, are you going to be alive in 70 years to eat from this tree? And the man says, no, I am never going to get to eat from the fruit of this tree. So Choni Hamagil says, if you're not going to get to eat from the fruit of this tree, why are you planting it? What sense does that make? So the man pointed to a different tree in his orchard. And he said, you see that tree all the way over there? So he says, yeah. You see how it's full of fruit? So he says, yeah. So he says, my grandfather planted that tree years and years and years ago. And he wasn't going to eat from it, but he said, I know my children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren will get to eat from the tree. So I'm planting this tree so that my grandchildren will get to eat from it. So Choni Hamagil said, whoa, that's an amazing thing. And he was thinking so hard, he got tired. He went to sleep. And Hashem made him sleep for 70 years. That doesn't happen to anybody. Sometimes you sleep for a long time. Sometimes on Shabbos I get up late. But 70 years? Sleep for, that's a very long time to sleep for 70 years. So he wakes up next to this tree again, okay? And there's a man that looks like just like the man he was talking to when he went to sleep. Now, Choni Hamagil didn't know he was asleep for so long. He had no idea. No, why would you ever wake up and think that you slept for 70 years? But he wakes up and he's really refreshed. Oh, woo! Whoa, that was a good nap. Wow, did I sleep for a long time? So he looks at the man and he says, hey, You were the guy I was talking to yesterday before I went to sleep, right? The man says, no, I don't know what you mean. We didn't have a conversation yesterday. He says, no, 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 when you were planting the tree and everything. So he says, I didn't plant this tree. This tree was here before I was born. He says, wait a minute, aren't you? And he says the man's name. He says, no, that was my grandfather. He's the one that planted this tree. Holy Amago realized he slept for 70 years. He was talking to somebody, and when he woke up, the man's grandson was there picking fruits from this tree. And Holy Amago realized this is the tree that the man was talking about that he was going to plant for his grandchild. And here's his grandson right in front of him. So Holy Amago says, whoa, now I understand you can sleep and dream for 70 years. But here's the thing, and listen carefully, because here's the lesson that Hashem wanted Choni Amagiel to understand, and here's the lesson I'm going to teach you, the same exact lesson that Choni Amagiel had. You ready, listening? Here we go. This is what he meant, that even though we wait a very long time for Mashiach, for some very good things to happen, whatever it is that we're waiting for, sometimes it takes a long time, and sometimes we might not get to enjoy it. But our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren will. You, sitting here listening to the story, are somebody else's dream that they said, one day I'm going to have Jewish grandchildren. I'm going to have this dream, and I'm going to work hard to make sure they have a great life. And you are that life. Sometimes we think and dream for something so long from now, and it comes true, but we don't even get to have that dream. I'm somebody else's dream from some long time ago. My grandfather and great-grandfather dreamt that I would have a great life, and I do. And that's the lesson of Choni Amagiel. And every time we see a tree, like a carob tree, we remember somebody planted that tree, and they didn't get anything from the tree. Years later, we get to. And then we also have to plant trees and study Torah and do mitzvos, not just for us, but so that the people that come after us will have a great life. Isn't that an amazing story? Wow. I love that story. And I love these trees.